Welcome to the Podcast of Randomness. I'm your host, Sean Michael McElroy. That's what I'm going with from now on. If you don't like it, well, oh well. And today I'm joined by my wonderful friend, you saw him last time, Mr. Metrone, or Chris.
Hello, everyone.
All right,
I had
how
to
are we
mute
doing
myself
today?
for a moment so I could stop myself from laughing.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you have? You have something? Oh no!
I'm
Shut
just
up,
I'm in a really giggly mood. I'm sorry.
So this is now our second episode of the Podcast of Randomness. Last week we did go over all of our wonderful origin stories. This week we're going to kind of move into something else. But first, so I want to kind of just gonna cover over what's been going on since then by simply asking, how was your weekend?
Pretty busy.
Busy? Work?
Yeah, I had a lot of work on the weekend, so I've been pretty busy.
And where do you work again? Or do you mind bringing that? Or do you want to talk about that on the podcast at all?
It's a retail store, but like in case you were understand, it's basically like a smaller version of Walmart. Basically, that's probably the best I can describe it.
Are you the greeter at Walmart?
Uh Sometimes.
Actually, I always thought that would be the world's greatest job. Because
What,
literally
Walmart?
all you have to, be the greeter at Walmart. Don't actually do anything else at Walmart. Just be the greeter. Just literally just walk, see people walking like, hi, how are you doing today?
Yeah, how are you doing?
And then get paid to do that.
Yeah, but the only thing I just don't like doing is what was it, having to, I don't want to say this out loud, but basically staying still. Like I have to move around a bit so that way it doesn't hurt my
Yeah,
back.
I'm the same way. I was a courtesy clerk, which is basically bag boy at Vaughn's in Southern California. Oh, the worst bit is having to stand at the register for hours.
Yeah.
Those crap in bags. But that's actually the other thing. That's the one thing I really don't like about my current job, which is like IT support. I have to sit behind a computer desk all day. Then I get home and sit behind a computer desk all night. Just
Yeah.
stop looking at computers. My life.
That's pretty much. We're not here to talk about our personal life. We're here to talk about hobbies, which
Hobbies.
Mac
Yes.
Mac would like to explain that.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it, I mean, we kind of touched this over in the last episode. So, I mean, we do a lot of video games. We enjoy watching movies. That's obviously, and we can actually talk about our favorite stuff later on the far as the movie stuff. But
Yeah.
I want to talk more about what we do that gets us out of the house or from in front of the computer basically all
because
day.
believe it or not, we do have a life outside, and we do see the sun.
Well, you do.
Well, I do when I feel like it.
But anyway, I mean, especially, I mean, I don't know about you. Actually, it's something I do know that you and I both have in common is that we both play golf.
Yes, we do, and
Well,
I enjoy golf. I've been practicing a bit of golf, getting the swing of it.
I'll be honest, I say I play golf. It's more like I attempt to hack my way across a golf course. Because I'm actually absolutely terrible at it. That being said, though, I did actually recently, I got some new golf clubs, which actually are kind of interesting because they're the Cobra F something, one of the F series, but they're the one length clubs. So no matter what it is, whether it's a 9-iron, 4-iron, whatever, they're all cut to the same length as a 7-iron.
What you should do is if you want to practice like getting better at golf, go to like a driving zone, where you can just swing at many golf balls as you want.
Actually, those can be intimidating, though. That's actually one thing I do want to say. If you are thinking about playing golf and you don't think you don't want to embarrass yourself, you're going to embarrass yourself. Accept that out of the gate, and you will enjoy yourself moving forward.
I don't mind that. I get more like embarrassed when I'm doing bowling because I can't do bowling. It pressures me when I'm about to swing the ball. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna screw this up somehow.
Then you start thinking about it. It's like, no, I got this. No, I don't got this. No, I got this. And then gutter ball.
Yeah.
Actually,
I mean, you can.
Hold on. What kind of bowling are we talking about? Because I don't know. This is where you being in Australia, me in America, is two different things. Golf is universal. Bowling, are you like on the bowling lawn thing?
No, I'm talking about actual bowling. No, I'm not talking about lawn bowls. I'm talking about actual bowling.
Okay, with the 10-pin and
10-pin
throw the heavy ass ball down.
Yeah.
Thing is, I enjoy bowling. I'm actually on a bowling team.
Like it's just like the only problem, like with bowling, I get pressured. Like in bowling, it's just I don't know. There's something about me that just bugs me when I'm trying to play because I'm like. I get mad at bowling when I'm doing so bad because I'm like, okay, let me just do a swing. Okay, I just went to the gutter. I didn't get any pins, no points. All right, you guys go. You guys have your turn. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for my turn and probably miss again. It's one of those things. It's like it pressures me when I'm about to swing.
I think what it is, it's very similar to what you get in actually playing golf. Is that technically how to do it and do whatever you need to do. You know the process of actually playing the game, and then
Yes.
you have those moments where you hit that perfect shot in golf and it goes super far, straight as an arrow, lands exactly where you want it, or you in bowling where you can easily like throw 3-4 strikes in a row. And then you get those slumps where you can't hit the ball straight. You can't get the bowling ball to do anything you want. You're getting splits left and right, and it's aggravating at that point.
Yes, it is. Now I do know somebody who's on a bowling team and he loves bowling, which is why I do play like sometimes I do play bowling with him, and if I do, yeah, I just deal with it.
Now,
Pretty
do you have
much.
your own bowling ball?
No, I don't. But I have bowling socks that I bought there because I forgot to bring socks. I did not think we're going bowling
Did
on
they
that particular day, so I'm just
did
like,
they
oh, okay.
did they come out of the vending machine?
They're just behind the counter.
Okay, okay. Literally, I don't know if they still have. No, I think they took the vending machines out. But the bowling alley I used to go to had socks in the vending machine.
Really?
Yes, that was for the exact same reason. But I'm just like, you go to the vending machine. It's like, okay, I get a Milky Way. I can get tube socks. It's like it was one of the more random things to put in.
That is weird.
I think that is the most random thing I've ever seen in a vending machine.
Yeah, but that's pretty much bowling for me. What about you? Is there anything like else you do besides golf? Like,
Well, I bowl. And I'm on a bowling team. I actually have my own bowling ball, which actually where I was going to go to. If you do actually bowl with your friend more often, I would highly suggest. I know it's kind of expensive to get into it. That get your own bowling ball. Having something that fits just right makes the game a lot more fun, a lot easier.
that is true.
So that's one thing I would suggest, at least on your end. As far as outside of bowling and golf, I do actually, and this little bit controversial, due to the Diamond Kibosh, I'm not going to get into that side of it, but I do target shooting, and I collect vintage firearms.
Okay, and how? Like, I don't know how exactly this works, but how does it work exactly?
Well, I mean, compared to like say when you buy, it's actually very similar to when you say buy a brand new firearm right out of a sporting goods store or like Bass Pro Shops or something like that, where you do have to pass background checks, you do have to get you have to give your thumbprint, you have to do answer a bunch of questions. There's paperwork involved, and you do have to pay taxes on it. But with vintage stuff, it's a little bit different because you can buy from private party, or you buy from other people. And at least for me personally, I do have my own. I have in America what's called an FFL 03, which means I'm licensed to collect curio and relics, and actually I can bypass having to do background checks, and I can actually have certain stuff. Actually, not in California. And generally speaking, you can actually have certain stuff mailed directly to you. Some stuff is still restricted though. Handguns, for obvious reasons. Even the federal government's like, nah, we don't want you mailing those. But it's still you can go online through various websites or forums and whatnot. You just basically type in what you're looking for and like, oh, there's one. Like for me personally, I recently bought a Winchester 1895. The lever action. It's actually an interesting one because it was a Russian contract just before the First World War started. But it's set up for cavalry. Mixed up. One is soldiers on horses. One is a hill in Jerusalem. No, but it is really fun to target shoot and to collect all this stuff because I love learning the history and also the mechanics of all these things. I've been babbling.
All right.
He's just like, all right, okay.
All right. I think I got it, but all right. Yeah. Something I do enjoy doing when I'm outdoors is going on adventures. Basically, is I like to say I just like to adventure into say
You go out with a
bushwalks.
sword and a white hat with a yellow dog that can stretch.
No, is that from something? I
That's
need
from
to
Adventure
know.
Time.
That's what it's okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
What was your?
Yes.
Actually, that's after my childhood, but I still know the show.
Yeah, I
Another one
haven't
of those-
watched Adventure Time in a while.
Actually, I would argue a lot of shows that come from actual like cartoon entities, they're really weird. Like a lot of stuff out of the '90s is just beyond freaky, like Invader Zim.
Yeah, no, the 90s in cartoons are pretty weird around that time.
What was oh god. No, I think it was Invader Zim. That was like everything. You honestly that Ed and Nettie really makes you think like what level of drugs were these people on when they were coming up
Yeah.
with this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of my like cartoon childhoods was around in the yeah, like the mid 2000s of Cartoon Network, like where yeah, you got Ed and Eddie as one, you got the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy,
Oh,
all
I missed
those
that
ones.
show. I want them to bring
Yeah.
that back so bad. That was a great show. Like, what was it? One of my favorite lines was like, "Why did the good die young, Grim?" Oh, mostly because I get confused.
Yeah, like it's like it is entertaining like series that one. And I if I
Did
watch
you ever
it
see the
now, I
pilot for that
probably
though?
have a part. Is it the first episode?
Yeah, the one with the hamster in the limbo.
Yeah, the limbo, basically how the
That anim,
Reaper is forced to be their friend
yeah,
forever.
yeah, but the animation for that is so,
It's outdated, basically. Yes.
it's so uncomfortable to watch. It's like, ah. Although, if we're going to talk about vintage cartoons, we can't ignore the strangest of them all, which is Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I have only seen probably 2 episodes of that, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this?
I don't even
I
know the I'm not sure the creators knew what they were going up, what they were creating.
It's just random. That's the only thing I could think
It is
of.
random, but literally, I mean, let's see. There was one episode where Muriel gets turned into a washing machine.
I think I saw one where was it? I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I think it was something about anger issues, and then things just start blowing up around them. I'm just trying to. Is that? I think that was one of the
Um,
episodes. Do you know the
I
one?
think so. I don't know the episode offhand. It's been forever since I watched Courage, but I think that sounds familiar. But there is also my favorite episode of them all, which is the one where they find this ancient slab and the greatest person ever to be the greatest voice ever to come through that show, which I'm going to do my own version of.
Yeah, please do.
Slab.
Oh my god.
When I was a kid, that episode actually scared the crap out of me, just simply because of that one voice.
Yeah, that I mean that would be like it's not scary these days, but it's probably funny.
Oh,
But
when I was
yeah,
6, I mean,
when you were 6, yeah, it probably would have creeped the hell out of somebody.
creeped the hell out of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then there's let's see, early 2000s. So does that mean you watch Teen Titans?
Yes, actually, you know what the funny thing is? We watched it last week, like most of like the whole series of Teen Titans.
The original, not the Teen Titans
No,
Go.
no,
because
no, not
that's-
Teen
that is
Titans Go. No,
unfortunate.
no, no,
Oh. What is it when they rehash things? They just make it worse.
no. Yeah, no. The original 2003 Teen Titans. That's
Actually,
the
that being
one.
said, I did see this one clip from Teen Titans Go that was really funny. It was, I don't even know the premise. I just saw the clip where Batman was chasing after the Titans on a golf cart. Still don't understand that.
Okay, that's all
And
random.
They keep destroying the vehicle Batman's in. He keeps having more ridiculous. So he goes from the Batmobile to the Batmocycle to the Bat Scooter to the Bat Roller Blades. To
One thing
Batman on
I mean,
Alfred.
one thing I didn't like about Teen Titans Go is just the designs. I'm just like, why do we have them in these designs? It looks, and then it's about. I know it's supposed to be like kid friendly, but it's just like it doesn't
You
feel
can
right.
have kid friendly in violence.
Yeah,
They proved
but
that. They
actually,
proved that in the 40s with Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes.
they did recently release on DVD the Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, like a movie.
Yeah, I think I saw. I think I saw a clip of that where.
Yeah, it's a crossover between the original Teen Titans and the new ones. And one of my favorites is just like the original Robin says to like Teen Titans Go Robin, just saying, I don't know what to call you. Maybe Baby Robin, Shorter Robin, or Bobblehead Robin. I was like, oh yes, this feels so good because they're making fun of the new ones, and they're like, because they're in an
There's a
arena.
lot to make fun of.
Yeah, they're in an arena, and then there's one guy in the crowd that says, "You ruined my childhood," and it just it says it crosses out the go, so that they make fun of how the new one is just like, oh, it's just that they're just goofy, they're having fun, while the like original just like, oh, they're all serious,
Which, that was the thing I liked about it. I mean, you have, what is it?
It's
Teen
supposed
Titans
to be
Go.
dark and original, and
you
like
ever-
it's supposed to be serious.
Yeah, did you ever watch Static Shock
Static Shock. No.
with Virgil Hawkins?
I might have heard of it though.
Oh, it's a great series. Basically, Virgil Hawkins gets electricity powers, and he does more superhero stuff with that. But that was a great series. That and then also I think his friend, I can't remember his friend's name. I'm lucky I remember Virgil Hawkins. I might even get the last name wrong. I know it was Virgil. His other friend gets like super smart and stuff like that. But it's a great series just overall, and it really kind of captures that same feel of the original Teen Titans, where it's like it's a kids show and it has good morals in it, good storyline, but it's also dramatic and actually has action in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's at least me. Although, actually, that also brings me to another thing I was actually recently arguing over at Starbucks. I was arguing with the people on the counter, which was a worse Star Wars film, Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones?
I feel like Attack of the Clones is probably the worst, just
Really?
because because the Phantom Menace I can actually sit through the whole bit of that movie. Well, Attack of the Clones, I'm just like, oh, this is just boring. Just cut to like the climax. Maybe that's it. Just cut to that.
It's like watching Titanic. If you want a good movie, or if you want a good action bit of the movie, just watch the second half.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those.
If you want the gooey love story, watch the first half.
Yeah, I mean, but Revenge of the Sith, I can actually enjoy that movie because.
No, Revenge of the Sith was a good film. It wasn't great by any means, but it had good action.
It had good stuff. It had good stuff.
And it doesn't have some really. The biggest downside to Attack of the Clones is simply just that whole thing on Naboo between Anakin and Padme.
Oh no, yeah,
the whole sand thing.
To me, Attack of the Clones just feels like a pilot episode for the Attack of the Clones series. But that's why I feel like it was just gonna be.
It was just a launching point.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem I have though with the reason why I actually put Phantom Menace on the list as the worst one ever, because one of the biggest redeeming features of Attack of the Clones is the whole fight scene, the whole climax with the Jedi and the droids, and then later with the clones. Although the one big thing with that whole final battle between the droids and the clones is that you don't really care about either one of the armies.
Fair enough. Like, okay, I know, I get what you mean.
But anyway, at least you have...
basically what you're saying is you don't feel like you want these guys to survive. Basically, like you
have no emotional attachment to them.
I understand that. I mean, maybe it's also like Obi-Wan's gonna make it because you know that. So I guess
there are certain characters are gonna survive. Anakin's gonna survive. Obi-Wan's gonna survive, and Yoda's gonna survive. That's pretty much guaranteed.
Yoda wasn't part of the climax. He was.
Yes, he was. Yeah, that huge fight between Dooku and Yoda.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Phantom Menace. Yeah, Attack of the Clones. I thought you were talking about Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Oh no, I was talking about the whole attack scene of the clones in Attack of the Clones. I mean, that whole final fight scene between the final battle on Geonosis. You really don't feel for either one of those armies. You might care a little bit about the Jedi.
No, but I guess people have mixed opinions for the Yoda battle because that was pretty cool.
It was cool, although
it was like
the fact is it was all CGI
for 40 seconds. Yeah, but it's all 40 seconds. Like it's 40 seconds. That's it. It's
but
not that long.
The one thing I always loved about Dooku as a fighter, I love that and also the very fencing style that he has when he fights.
Yeah,
is that it's like very fluid, and it's like you can tell it's like after decades and decades of practicing. He's just like, it's almost nothing to him to fight Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah,
but the biggest problem the biggest problem I have though that actually puts Phantom Menace in the worst spot though is one, Jar Jar Binks, because Jar Jar Binks, and that was the biggest mistake that Lucasfilms made. Period with the prequels. The second one is that it was 90% of that film was boring.
I mean, I know what you mean. I mean,
think about it. You had the wonders of interplanetary politics.
Yeah, well, I didn't care about that.
You have a pod race that's just basically there just to fill time. You have Coruscant, which has more wonderful interplanetary politics. And then finally you get to a fight scene, and you have Darth Maul, the Darth Maul fight.
We have Midi-chlorians as well.
Yeah, in the midichlorians.
Yes.
Mm.
That's very important to to add in, you know.
Actually, out of curiosity, what is your favorite Star Wars film?
My favorite. Ooh. Well, I know a lot of people say that Empire Strikes Back is probably the best, and the
Empire
most
is probably
likely
my
right.
favorite.
It's most people probably. I would say probably Empire Strikes Back, and then after that, probably A New Hope.
I mean, A New Hope. I like A New Hope for as far as a movie. The story, though, I realized it had to do a lot of backstory. Also, Luke was a whiny little bitch. I'm sorry, I'm saying it now.
I can.
I was going to go to Tashi Station to pick up some new power converters.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Okay, I know I know what you're trying to say. But like, well, tell me what do you think after? Well, of course, Empire Strikes Back is everybody's favorite. What about your second favorite?
Let's see here. I'm not going to say Return of the Jedi because I hate the Ewoks.
They're fine, but yeah, okay.
I'm not going. Force Awakens was a good film, but it felt like a rehashing of A New Hope. Therefore, I kind of lost it. I would say I really do like The Last Jedi. That was a really good film for me.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy The Last Jedi. I'm just trying to think of all there's like that's what I have to talk about a lot about The Last Jedi, just because.
Oh, we can get into that. We have time.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about. So I will say what I do like about the Last Jedi is.
Wait, hold on one second. If anybody for some reason has not seen The Last Jedi, we are probably going to be throwing spoilers into this.
It's probably spoilers.
Heads up. There are going to be spoilers in this. If you haven't seen the film, you probably want to stop now and watch the film, then come back.
Or you know what, Mac might even
I need all
put
the
down the
views I can
time
get.
to
Come
skip.
back.
You could also Mac just put a down time to skip to a certain point of the video if you don't want to hear spoilers.
Yes, I will overlay. I go to time. Perfect. Also for our YouTube audience, it's here on the screen.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1. Spoil them all. So
all right, spoilers.
Yeah.
All right. If you are still here and you still haven't seen it, it's your fault if we ruined the film for you.
Yeah. Snoke is dead in that movie. I don't know why they killed him off in the second movie because I know nothing about Snoke, and I feel like most of the theories that people did with Snoke just ruined it for me because I'm just I really want to know who Snoke is, and now he's dead. He's dead. Nothing.
I can't believe they built Snoke up. I mean, because in The Force Awakens, he was actually properly kind of scary, kind of creepy.
It was, yeah.
In most of The Force Awakens, in The Last Jedi, he was a good, powerful, evil character, and then they just off him.
He was pretty powerful. Yeah, they just kill him off. I was like, what? And I feel like it's so that way they can just hide the fact that they're just going to bring Palpatine back for the third one. Just be like, oh, the suspense now. Oh, yes.
By the way, JJ did confirm he's actually going to be in the movie proper. It's not just it wasn't just a teaser.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I'm so looking forward to that.
Oh, I can't wait.
I feel like that whole moment of Kylo killing Snoke, I feel like it was a very rushed moment. Just so they can get to they could set up, or they could tease this redemption arc, which I don't think they're actually going to go for, and I actually hope they don't go for. We already saw the redemption of Anakin Skywalker. We don't need to see Kylo Ren's. I'm also
I feel like I also enjoy just probably one arc of the Last Jedi where it's just Rey and Luke instead of just Finn and what's her other name? I don't remember.
I can't remember her name, unfortunately.
I don't remember.
That shows how memorable of a character she was. But
yeah, it's just I don't find that bit as interesting.
Although I have to say that the casino planet, where I can't remember the name of it either, but that whole planet was gorgeous to look at. The design on it was absolutely wonderful.
It wasn't too bad.
But the one thing because I know you're mentioning the whole thing between Luke and Rey, is they brought back the one thing of the original series that I absolutely loved, which was the more mysticized version of the Force, not the midichlorians or anything like that.
No,
they just went straight into it's just it binds the entire universe together, and it must be kept in balance. And actually, it was really sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, continue. I'll let you finish.
No, but it was actually that was a really one thing that was very interesting to see Luke in his later years as he's aged on and saw a lot of clearly based on
Oh,
his
he
whole,
did.
his emo
Like
attitude.
he's gone through a lot. You can
Yeah,
tell.
you can see a whole lot, but he's come to this like point of almost like pseudo zen, where he's like all he cares about is trying to preserve the balance.
Basically, yeah.
So, I mean, that's actually that was one of my amazing things. And also, you have that all the great teaching scenes between Luke and Rey, which starts out with one of my favorite my favorite lines of the entire film. What do you know about the Force?
Oh,
The power
yes.
that Jedi use to control people's minds. Amazing.
Amazing.
Every-
Everything in that
every-
sentence was wrong. Yeah, so that was a good. And one of my favorite ones is like, you feel that? That's a force. That's a force.
Oh, you must be really strong.
That was very funny.
Just trolling Rey.
Yeah, that was funny. Also, I did like that whole mirror scene with Rey going down, seeing these mirrors,
When she goes into the pit.
into the pit.
Yeah.
The pit where Darth Vader comes out and Luke has to fight. It's kind
It's
of like
basically
that. But
it's the cave scene.
it's
It's the
basically
whole
that.
cave
It's
scene
basically
again.
that. Yeah, it's
Seeing
they're
these
doing
weird
it,
mirroring,
like,
but it
it's
wasn't nearly as
the same
it
but
wasn't-
different. It's the same but
wa-
different.
Thankfully, it was not nearly as in your face as it was with The Force Awakens. With
Yeah, now Force Awakens.
the First Order built a giant doomsday weapon
it's
to
called
destroy
yeah,
planets.
the Star Destroyer. See, this is Death Star. This is Death Star 2, and this is Star Destroyer.
Star Killer.
It's
Star Killer base.
Oh, Star Killer base. Right.
Actually, funny enough, fun fact. Do you know where they get the name Star Killer from?
Oh no, where?
It was supposed to be Luke Skywalker's last name in the original screenplay that George Lucas wrote in the 70s. That was supposed to be his last name. Supposed to be Luke Starkiller.
Okay, that's an interesting fact. I did not know that.
Oh, I watched this
Okay.
whole documentary. It's really good. I love random trivia facts. I do love them. Like, for example, do you know in A New Hope the stormtrooper number of the stormtrooper that Luke impersonates?
Wait, what? Sorry, what?
So they just get the tractor beam just pulls the Millennium Falcon onto the Death Star. They smuggle themselves. They trick the stormtroopers to go up there and then go up and they kill them, obviously.
Yeah.
And
of
they start
course.
impersonating stormtroopers. Do you remember what the commander said when he was calling Luke? As far as what was the stormtrooper's designation?
I forget what it was called.
I can hear all the nerds yelling at the or not the nerds, all the
I haven't
passionate
watched
folk.
A New Hope. I haven't watched New Hope in a while, so I don't remember.
TK421. Why aren't you at your post?
Oh, okay.
It is
Yeah, so-
TK421. Useless bit of trivia.
TK421.
Yeah, TK421. Yeah, useless bit of trivia. I've committed it to memory though.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
nightmare
Yeah, because
Jeopardy.
I haven't seen the movie in a while, so it's just like, oh yeah, I don't remember what the name was.
I don't know. It was just one of those things I happened. Although,
Also,
sorry.
you did see Solo, did you?
Yes, I did see Solo, which I thought was a really good film overall. I
mean,
think they didn't need to squeeze into one film every little trope about the Millennium Falcon that they could think of.
For me, I didn't really like it that much.
Really?
In my
Why?
opinion. No.
Curiosity.
Like you got. Okay, so basically, you know how Han Solo is basically the smuggler, and he likes to smuggle stuff. Basically, that's
Yeah,
his,
he likes to make money that way.
Yeah, but he doesn't really make money in this, in that movie. I mean, the only thing he does is at the very end where he gets Millennium Falcon. That's it. But other than that, he really doesn't. He's not necessarily the bad guy in this movie because he's trying to do stuff to be he's trying to actually help in some way.
He's trying to help in his own way, but at the same time, you do still get that air of I'm more or less just kind of in this for myself.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's
I
kind of
don't
where it kind of leaves you.
I feel like if the movie around him was a bit more where he was a bit more he's a bit more rude to people or something
I think you want more of the pirate.
Basically, yeah.
Which I could see that. I want more. I could see a little bit wanting a little bit more of Han Solo at the beginning of A New Hope, where it's just
basically.
it's about me. I need to make my money. I need to keep myself.
I expect to
keep
be
my
well
status
paid.
quo. Exactly.
Yes. That's what I'm hoping the character would have be about. Also, this is a line that really pissed me off in the movie. Is just where he's signing up to be part of the Empire, and he's just like, who are your people? I have no one. Solo. I'm just like, oh my god, did you really just do that?
That's where you have to keep up your name. That's where you're
I'm just
gonna have
like,
to create the name. Oh,
is this supposed to be funny to you? Like, is that supposed to be funny? Oh, so
that
you're
was
alone.
bad.
Oh, I got it. Solo because you're alone. So I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, that seemed like a cop out. In
that
a lot of ways, it was
really
a cop out. I
annoying.
agree with you on that.
Yeah,
No, but what is it? That? But the first scene where he first meets Chewie.
yeah, I thought that was
The-
pretty good.
I was like, yeah, a little.
I mean, like you could tell that was gonna be Chewie. Like they were building it up, but everybody
I know.
probably knew that was gonna be Chewie.
But
The
it is
only-
kind of interesting to know
Yeah.
that that is kind of how they kind of meet. Is like Chewie's trying to kill him.
Yeah, but also there's a lot of things in that movie where it builds up something, but you know what it's gonna be. Like, have you noticed that? Like, there's a lot of stuff that you just know is just gonna happen, basically. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
and-
the whole betrayal and all that. You know, it's just like,
Well, yeah. The other thing I found kind of annoying was the constant need to all these little tropes about the Millennium Falcon or these little fun facts and whatnot. They had to find the need to explain it all. I kind of
Oh,
felt
yeah.
that I felt annoyed with that. Like, what was the droid's name? Oh God, what
forget.
was her name?
I forget. I actually like that droid
L3.
though.
I think it was
It was
L3.
something like, yeah, I like that droid though. That was,
I like
'cause
that droid
she
though,
was,
but
she was the funniest thing in that movie because she's just like, this is like abuse for droids. How dare? What is?
That's my absolute favorite about these non-episode named Star Wars films. The droids are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
Whatever, I think it is L3. I'm gonna have to look this up
it
now. 'Cause it's
probably
gonna
is,
bug
but
me,
like. My favorite is when she like releases these you know, like what was the gadgets that just have droids like do the just have to do stuff out of their will, like they have some sort of like collar on them or something. It's just like she just
I
like
don't know.
takes it off and then just it's like she's starting a redemption, just like, yeah, we're now taking over.
Revolution.
Revolution. I thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, it is L337.
L337. Okay.
Which actually, I just now looked at this. I think that's supposed to be.
Also, Darth Maul is at the end of this movie. It's just like,
Yes.
with his robotic legs.
Well,
I
we
am
knew
Maul.
we knew Darth Maul survived after
Yeah, no,
Phantom Menace because
everybody
out of
knew
the
that,
Clone
but
Wars. I
this
wasn't
is like the
expecting him
first
to
time-
survive. I'm surprised he survived Sidious.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Because I mean, you get into his lightsaber fight with Sidious, you're probably gonna lose.
Yeah.
I mean, think
No,
about
but
the people that lost to Sidious.
I already knew Darth Maul was still alive, but I was not expecting him to be in another movie.
Did you know he was still alive? I never
Just,
saw him
Attack
survive
of the
after the Clone Wars.
Like, I've seen him in Attack of the Clones, and I'd see him pop up in like Rebels.
He's not in Attack of the Clones.
Oh no, Attack of the Clones. No, Clone Wars. Sorry, no.
Right, but
He was in
he
Clone
does that whole final fight between Sidious and Maul, and I don't see how he would have survived that.
True. I mean, I don't know when that was taking place, though. Was that before Solo or after Solo?
Well, Solo has the Empire, so that's after the events of Sith.
Ah, yeah.
So that would make makes Maul very old.
They have the was it the whole like the marching theme playing in the background. It's like it's a theme song for the Empire. Dun, 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 dun. Like that was originally because that's the soundtrack, but they actually play it on like the speakers, like it's
You
some
do know
sort
the
of
name of that
anthem.
piece, right?
Is it the Imperial March?
It's called Imperial March, so it kind of makes sense
Yeah.
that they would be playing that. It's a great little
It's
come join the
just
Empire.
funny.
See these
Yeah, come
actually,
join the Empire.
I love that the classic recruiting strategy of the interplanetary empire is just
That is funny, yeah.
grow your skills, visit to exotic lands.
Yeah.
Yes, be told to die in the name of the Empire.
But yeah, but I am looking forward to seeing the next Star Wars movie. Hopefully, it will be the best, maybe out of the new trilogy.
And we're 2 months out.
Oh yeah, not too long left.
Just I'm praying and I'm super praying that they don't put stupid furry creatures at the end of the freaking.
Just I need it to end on a high note. That's it. Just end on a high
Yes.
note, and that's all good until they make
But-
the next trilogy. Why they're making a new trilogy? I don't know why they're making
Did
another
they actually?
trilogy.
Did Disney greenlight the next trilogy?
I think they have already announced and confirmed that they're making another 3.
All I know is I believe that this is supposed to be the end of the Skywalker arc.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad of that because I'm actually getting tired of oh, it's the Skywalkers. It's all leads back from Vader, and I'm getting kind of tired of that. There's 9 films on it already. It's like if they kept making Harry Potter films, after 8, you get really tired of it.
I mean, I still love all the Harry Potter ones, but just the last Fantastic Beasts. I'm just like, okay.
Actually, I've never seen either one of the Fantastic Beasts.
Well, the first one, at the most part, was an okay movie for the Harry Potter universe. The second one, I'm just like, okay, well, you lost me. The sad thing is the second one has like all the reference like callbacks to like the Harry Potter movies. Like you have the Hogwarts castle, you have that's
well, doesn't
what's
it
sad
also
about
have like
is
all of the what is it? Doesn't also like kind of tie in some of the events of how Dumbledore got the Elder Wand?
it's building it up.
I heard something about. I know because I know Grindelwald. I know the movie's called Crimes of Grindelwald. Yes.
Grindelwald, yeah.
Yeah, and I know Grindelwald had the Elder Wand before Dumbledore did.
Yeah, so they are. That's what these movies are trying to build up to that, so that way they can just all tie it into the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, which I think they're trying to. They may be trying too much because we don't need another pseudo ultimate bad guy because we got enough of that from Voldemort.
Nah, but we all still love Voldemort.
Yes, Mr. No Nose.
Who knows? Yeah.
He does not. Yeah, who knows? He does not have the nose. Who knows? Actually, what happened to his?
Well, you see, Peter Pettigrew cut off his hand that had the missing finger, so that missing finger would have been where his nose would have been. That's the
but
joke
he had a
I
missing
always
nose
make.
before he dropped him in the cauldron.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Actually, did he have? He didn't have a nose when he was on the back of Quirrell's head too.
No, I don't think he did. Even no, I don't think he did.
Now we're going off on a real tangent. Anyway, back to Star Wars.
Yeah, back to Star.
Anyway, so yeah, but the thing I want from another trilogy of Star Wars, if you're gonna make them, I'm okay with that. I want to see them go back, way before any of the events, and I don't even want them to reference it. Nothing.
Basically,
I don't want
fresh, just a fresh.
Yes, I want a complete fresh trilogy. Maybe even go back to before there were actually proper lightsabers. Go back to when there was like proto sabers.
Oh, I'm trying to think because like I don't know if I'm gonna get more interested in like the whole like having it all be fresh. 'Cause I'm gonna feel like it's probably a different universe after that. That's what I'm gonna feel. That's what it's gonna feel like to me, and
But that's what I
don't know if I'm ready for that. Like it's my, I'm sure you want, and I know a few other people will definitely want to. It's just that, in my opinion, I don't know if it's gonna capture me as much, but you know that's just me. I'm the asshole here.
All I know is if they're gonna do this, one, don't call it episode whatever. Don't call it anything like that. And the other thing, don't tag a Star Wars story onto it. Irked me so much when it came to Rogue One and Solo.
What do you mean? Don't tag it. What do you mean?
Well, you know how let's say Rogue One was actually Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Okay.
Or Solo, a Star Wars story. Why do I need that?
Because it's a Star Wars story.
I've seen enough Star Wars to know if I see Han Solo with Chewbacca behind him, I'm pretty sure it's a Star Wars film.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Just saying, it's just
kind of
unnecessary.
Understood.
Yeah, that's at least my thought process on that. Is there anything else we're looking forward to?
I mean, I'm gonna see the next season of Rick and Morty, but that's something I know you're probably not gonna see.
And I know I may get hate mail for this, but I've actually not watched Rick and Morty.
Yeah, he has not. It's true.
I've watched like the first 3 episodes, and that is actually my usual benchmark for whether or not I will invest the time to watch an entire series. Is I'll give it 3 episodes, and if it doesn't have me by then, I won't watch it. And Rick and Morty didn't get me by then. Although I have been recommended that I like jump like maybe into like season 2 or season 3, watch some of the stuff in there.
Yeah, you probably should because here's the thing, there are episodes that are really good. Like you have to find just the right episode where it's actually gonna capture you, because I feel like the first 3, like you said, like there's the first one that is just sort of the just basically explaining how these characters are, how they act. You know, that's the whole point of the first
and
one.
Also, I mean, if I remember the plot of the first one properly, it's like Rick takes Morty on some sort of adventure, even though he's not supposed to anymore. And then something goes
school.
And something goes wrong, and then basically Rick makes Morty put a butt plug in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, it's a level of stupid humor I don't find particularly enjoyable. Like there is a very fine line. I mean, like the Family Guy hits it pretty well because it is stupid humor, but it still has fairly good plot lines. Simpsons.
I haven't watched Family Guy in a while.
Oh, I like Family Guy. I haven't watched any of the new episodes in a while, but I've probably
Nah, nor have I.
seen the first 8, 9 seasons. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I've really enjoyed Family Guy.
As for the Simpsons, is that still going? The
Oh,
Simpsons?
The Simpsons is the longest running unscripted, or no, sorry, longest running scripted animated series. It's been going since it's been 1984, 85, something like that.
Yeah,
But it's been
that
going
long.
forever.
It will not die yet. It's been going for a while.
There, I know I'm going to do the very improper thing of actually looking up things while podcasting.
There was another thing I was
1989.
gonna say 1999.
89.
89. Okay.
Lord, that's a long time for The Simpsons to be on there. How do they have that? Because you do know one of the biggest thing about The Simpsons is the fact that every time The Simpsons, every time The Simpsons go on, they go to the couch, it's different every time.
Yeah, you try and think, how do they keep doing this?
How do you keep coming up with these new ideas every time?
I don't know. It's amazing how that works.
I would probably run out of ideas after about 12.
Oh, I remember what else I was gonna say. Is SpongeBob still going? Like, do we
I
know?
believe so. You're gonna make me look it up, aren't you?
No, don't.
You're
look
gonna
it up,
make
don't
me look it up. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
But yeah,
SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob.
They are still running, or it is still running.
Okay, nice. Yeah, no, I do still enjoy watching SpongeBob episodes just to make me laugh. You know, they're.
Because I much prefer the classics. The classics
the first
of it.
three. The first 3 seasons of SpongeBob, is that what we're saying?
Just classic episodes like Bubble Buddy.
Yep.
Or what is it? Even like I don't know if it was the pilot or how, or it's the one where SpongeBob actually gets his job at the Krusty Krab.
It might have been the pilot, I feel like.
It seems like that would be the pilot. It kind of felt like a clunky episode anyway.
Yeah. What was it? The first episode with Plankton trying to get the Krabby Patty formula? That's I liked that episode because he's like, because he's controlling SpongeBob's head. Like,
this is my lab.
Yeah. I like that.
This is my laboratory.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, this is my lab, and this is my laboratory.
What about the episode where Plankton
he crashes through was it Squidward's house, and he just goes, "Shut your mouth, you mediocre clarinet player." Mediocre.
What about the episode where Plankton and Mr. Krabs switch lives?
I don't remember that one. Like, I'm sure that is an episode somewhere, but I don't remember it.
Where he puts on like this headgear and he switches the absolute realities with Mr. Krabs, where Plankton owns the Krusty Krab and Krabby Patties and whatnot. And Mr. Krabs keeps stealing the formula while he's butt naked. Oh Lord, he's naked. But
oh my God.
I love that episode. It has my favorite line probably of the entire thing. It's like, "Goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy."
I think I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that before, that line.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Also, what about the episode where SpongeBob is waiting at the bus stop for the bus, and then the moment he leaves,
rock bottom.
Rock bottom. And the moment he steps away from the bus stop, the bus just comes and leaves instantly. Like, he sees the vending machine, he's like, and then the bus comes, instantly gone.
Always need to remember the words of Grandpa Sponge. Never chase a bus, especially one that's going up at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
Also, you ever heard the analysis of how like dirty some of the names in that in that show are?
No, I have not seen it.
Bikini Bottom.
Bikini Bottom. Yeah. Okay, I see.
And we have
yep,
someone named Krabs.
Just Krabs.
Like the STD.
Oh,
there he gets it.
Now I understand. It's all clear to me now.
I mean, SpongeBob, or something like, what is it? I think I can't remember. It was like, I can't remember what episode it was, but where SpongeBob says something about look, doubloons, and it's bars of soap, and he says, "Don't drop them." Like, oh, jeez. That's in a kids show. I think Nickelodeon knew that they were having adults watching this at the same time. Kind of like a classic Disney film. Jokes that go completely over the kids' heads.
Sometimes, yeah, I know. It's just like some jokes. I'm just like, wow, these actually get by. Wow, so cringy sometimes.
The censors thought that was a good idea. No, but I mean classics or anything that all the classic stuff that we go through, as far as movies and whatnot. I think the biggest thing that we've learned is that two things. One, don't try to rewrite the book after you've written the book, i.e.,
Yep.
midichlorians. Don't
Fair
bring
enough.
that kind of crap up. Also, actually, one thing I'll touch on with Star Wars at the very end of this all: when you have a great film, don't screw with it.
Hey, you're talking about the special editions, are you?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't need a big dinosaur thing walking in front of Luke and Ben inside the speeder as the stormtroopers approach. I don't need that in my life.
yes, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Now, there are a few things in the original special, like in the special editions, that I'm pretty mixed on it actually, because like there are some where I'm just like, okay, I like this, while some I'm just like, okay, you didn't need to add this in.
And all the little, touch up of all the picture or all the, wide shots and all that stuff and making sure the color looks really, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no,
That makes the
that's
film
fine. It's
look
like
pretty.
if you make it like just make it the clarity a bit more better, or like have a bit more interesting background, a bit more visuals. That's fine. But if you're changing like the if you're changing
Like,
the things that just like
if you're changing a plot
like you
point,
said,
like Han shooting first.
yeah, okay, yes, that's very important.
Yes.
That
For
is a
anybody
very
who
important
hasn't seen
thing.
anybody who hasn't seen the special or hasn't seen anything but the special editions and maybe doesn't know this, in that whole cantina scene between Han and Greedo, Greedo never shot in the original. Han just blew him to bits.
Yeah, and that's what I understand why people will be annoyed by that. As for
Yes.
they did not need to add Jabba the Hutt in the fourth movie. Like that was you did not need to add him in. Like because
Actually, sorry, go ahead.
the whole point I feel like with like just talking about Jabba the Hutt, but never actually seeing him until the last movie is to build up the mystery of who Jabba the Hutt really is. Like just I felt like yeah.
Actually, I did see a cut of it's a scene that was actually deleted from the original cut of Star Wars. Actually, they brought it back and they actually when they put Jabba the Hutt in, but
Yeah.
instead of having this giant slug, they actually had Jabba the Hutt played by an actual person.
Yes, I saw that.
But it's that I think I prefer that to the slug.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just kind of I think especially the actor that played Jabba in that original scene, I think had a really good feel for a kind of mobster character. The other thing I
Fair
also
enough.
liked about it was because it actually makes the line a lot more sense, or makes a lot more line a lot more sense. I can't even make sense of that sentence. Anyway, it
I
makes
know.
the whole line that Han Solo says make a lot more sense, where he goes, "Jabba, you're a wonderful human being."
Yes, I think
It
I
makes that
understand
work better, I think. But I don't know. I mean, I understand you kind of want to have more aliens and whatnot. I get that. But I think it would have been better when they just left the original guy. If you haven't seen that,
Fair.
go ahead, look it up on YouTube. You'll find it. It's actually a
Yeah.
really cool cut.
Also, what do you think about them having the voice change for Boba Fett? Like
That I understood why they did it.
I
just-
do understand that, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Because let's be honest, the original actor for Boba Fett had what, 5 lines?
Yeah, it's 5 lines. He didn't have much.
Yeah, so I mean, changing it's not a big loss. The biggest annoyance though is from the end of Jedi when they got rid of got rid of the original actor for Anakin Skywalker and put Hayden Christensen in.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know why they did that.
My thing is, here's my biggest thing with that is, Obi-Wan comes up as Alec Guinness. Yoda comes
Yes.
up as, well, he still looks like Yoda, but he looks like older Yoda. And then
Puppet Yoda.
they have Anakin showing up as himself when he was in his 20s.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. That's a yeah. When you actually just think about it, you're like, it's pretty random why you just want Hayden Christensen in this like.
I've
But
never
I do
heard a
like,
good theory for that either.
Yeah. Also, I will say in Empire Strikes Back, I do like how they show the Emperor, like, because you remember how he looked in the original, like Empire Strikes Back, and when they show
It's the same actor
the
too.
Emperor. Yeah. So when they updated it in the in special edition, I thought that.
Oh,
the
the original of the Emperor, where he's like, I don't even know how to describe that. That was
It's like a mask. I think he's wearing a mask.
I think the
From what it
idea
looks
was
like.
it's supposed to make him look like old and like burned and whatnot. I don't know. When
Yeah.
they that's actually okay. You guys did the right call in changing that.
That's a fine fix.
bad. That was a fix that made sense because it kind of also brings in makes sense that why the Emperor would look like X in or he looked like he did in Empire and then looks even worse or it looks like X in Jedi and then looks even worse somehow in Empire. So it
Yeah.
makes more as a storytelling aspect, it works better.
Yeah, it works best. So, yeah, the special edition. I'm pretty mixed on it.
Have you seen any
But
of the originals, the original cuts before then, or have you seen any of the earlier versions of of A New Hope?
well, I have the 2004 special edition of A New Hope, so
The DVD
do
set.
not have. Yeah, I don't have the 2011 ones, which I know that they're pretty bad.
Oh, you know the yell that Obi-Wan makes.
Yes,
At the-
I heard the
Have
I
you heard the new cut?
version.
Oh, that's so
I'm just like
bad.
I'm just like yeah, I'm just like oh my god, I'm so glad I have the 2004 because if I have to pick a special edition, the 2004 versions are probably the best.
Before they could really ruin it.
Yeah, because if I had to pick special editions, the fourth ones, like 2004 is probably the best. So yeah,
I've
That-
had the privilege.
and I'm grateful for that.
I had the privilege years ago. I was at my uncle's house in Maryland, and he has a Laserdisc player. I think I touched on this in the last episode, but a Laserdisc is literally like it's a DVD player, the same basic concept. You have a laser reading a digital media disc, but the size of the disc is the size of basically a dinner plate.
Okay.
Most ridiculous thing ever. But he had one of the early cuts of Star Wars in its more original form. I think by that time the only change they made was put on Episode 4. So, but onto the crawl, and I think they made the crawl move a little bit faster. But outside of that, the entire film is still in its original. I've seen Han just shoot Greedo.
Yeah.
I've seen the cuts without the whole conversation with Han and Jabba. Oh, much better. It's a better film. The flow feels better in that sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you can find the Laserdisc version, which if you can find a Laserdisc player that's still working, I'll be impressed because those things were darn fragile. But man, was that an interesting way to watch Star Wars. And I think I also watched the original. I watched an early version of Indiana Jones. Which I don't think they ever mess with Indiana Jones.
I don't know. I don't think they did. No. I mean, I
Anyway,
wouldn't
okay.
know, but yeah.
All right.
But
Well,
yeah,
that'll be a subject for another podcast. We're coming up to time here. Meta,
Yeah.
is there any sort of self promotion you want to do while you have me here, or I have you here?
I might as well just mention one thing on my channel. I am currently going to be uploading a GTA video, and and Mac will be there too.
I know
and
the one.
I think Mac is looking forward to this more than anybody else.
Yes.
I am dead sure.
I will give away one spoiler. Meta shows off his closet.
I do. Not in real life, but in my imagination, I really do. And
Check out
if
the
you don't
thumbnail
understand it,
if you
yeah, if you see the thumbnail, you'll understand the moment.
yes, if this is up
click.
after he puts up the video,
Yeah.
I will make sure I will link the video in the description later once he releases it. That way you can see
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If you wanna keep up to date with anything, check out our Twitter page because I'm pretty sure we're going to be posting updates on what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Was there anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, Meta, thank you very much for being back again. Once again, I do think this is you should almost be a regular host at this point.
I probably will be. Like, let's be perfectly honest. I'm probably going to be like the co-host in some fashion.
Yeah, at least you're not trying to end the show for me this time. I will mute you. I will kick you again.
You muted me. You never kicked me. Anyway.
I can kick you now. Anyway, but thank you very much for watching, listening, wherever the heck you are. I'll have updates after this, so stick around for those. But for now, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of the Podcast of Randomness, and we hope to see you next time. Later, guys.
See ya.
Okay, and update time. First of all, I want to say thank you again for watching. It's been a great pleasure to have you guys back. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has either watch the first episode on YouTube or have listened to it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On that subject, we are now available on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. Google Play just cleared today as I'm recording this. You do have any comments, any thoughts, I do appreciate them. I'm still, as I mentioned in the first episode, I'm still kind of learning this through. So any of your kind of criticisms, I'm going to take them to heart right now. For now, I do hope you really enjoyed once again, and I thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Later. As for one final note, as far as the regularity of how we're producing these episodes, I don't have a set schedule as of yet. These are still kind of pardon the pun, random. But as we kind of move forward and kind of seeing what we can actually maintain and what actually works well, we should have an actual time frame which you can actually be expecting an episode of the Podcast of Randomness. For now, do actually check out our Twitter feed at Podcast of Random, where you'll be able to keep up to date with exactly when I pump these episodes out until we actually have a set time frame. I'm going to talk to Meta about that, what he thinks, and see what else I can actually work around on my end. Kind of actually, if you can, put in the comments, when do you think you would like to see a Podcast of Randoms? Whether it's weekly, whether if you would like to see it, twice a month, monthly, whatever you feel it would work the best. And I'll kind of see if I can work with that based on what you guys want to see. Outside of that, though, I do appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to you later.